Hello, everybody. It's Warship Wednesday. Mr. Voiceover, you're up. We need some commentary on this here clip that we just put together. Yeah, there you go. I hope this is the first time I was able to actually take two full clips, put them together, and they'd still be under the 15-minute mark. So I didn't have to alter them anything. I didn't have to speed them up or slow them down because I actually started uh, naming the actual clips and stuff like that. It makes them easier for me to edit when I go to my library and share factory and stuff. But that's what these two are, is two clips from Warship Wednesday. I got to play a couple of games. Then I had to go and take care of some business in town. So I was only did a few games, but it's like get me back into playing Warships again. Um, I really been focusing on the Carrier Sundays, but I also want to try and work this here little ship up. It's my tier 5. It's a destroyer, and I kind of jumped on real quick, and it's got its custom paint job, the zebra stripes. I don't think that's permanent though. I'll have to look. I kind of like the look of that for the destroyer. But my job for the destroyer, just like a light tank would be, to be a scout. Get out there, find out where everything's at, light stuff up for the rest of the team to figure out what we want to do. So at this point here, I'm kind of thinking about my gun control, and I'm trying to maneuver my ship so my guns are pointing in the direction I need them to be. The thing with this destroyer is the guns are pretty quick when they traverse, so it's not as big an issue as it is with, let's say, the next battle in the New Yorker, which is a battleship, which takes a lot longer to get those guns turned around. But that's for another time. This one is more about what a destroyer can do. Now I'm going to show you the one thing I've been talking about is like if you're wondering why I'm not jumping on the cap, for the simple reason at the moment is I've been detected now. There is a destroyer and they're trying to capture this point. That little destroyer came in. And I'm sitting on the outside of that, but I'm still getting defended ribbons because I'm taking on this destroyer with the help of my teammates. As you can see, they're really taking it down because these destroyers can really be mean and tough, and I'll show you that in a minute. But so my focus here is, and this is what I've been talking about, I puff in the smoke, I disappear in the smoke. He loses track of me, so he goes to look for another target, while in the meantime the team is taking it down. There it goes. Took out a dangerous little weapon, and now it's a little safer to go into the cap. But at the same time, just like that destroyer there is, everyone knew where he was at because that destroyer was on the cap, and it said, here we are, and he took it from everybody. And like I said, I puffed my smoke, I disappeared, and because I was trying to focus on that little destroyer, I keep running into this little island here. But I'm staying in the smoke. See, remember I used to talk about that, is where I'd puff it when I first started playing. I'd drop it thinking I'm helping out, but I didn't do anything. And I sail out of it, making myself visible. And then next thing I know, I'm being targeted by everybody. And there's other things you could do with smoke too. You could drop a bunch of smoke, then you could come out of the smoke and hit something that didn't know you were there. Kind of like the islands too. You can use the islands as cover, but you do run the risk of getting stuck on them, like I had there. And so I was trying to concentrate and trying to maneuver, while at the same time trying to target the enemy, and our team did an excellent job, as you can see. So now we're going after, there's 2 left, I think. And this is what I was talking about, what a little destroyer can do. Um, the thing about a battleship is, like I was saying, the guns take a long time to traverse. So if his guns are pointing off in another direction, I can get in a little bit closer and I can lay a spread of torpedoes. And once again, I think I was getting stuck on an island, but it's alright. I survived the match, took down that last battleship with torpedoes. And like I said, because she wasn't able to get his guns onto me, you gotta be careful that they do have secondaries, and the secondaries will wipe you out. Now this is my New Yorker, the battleship, Tier 4. This is a temporary paint job. I've only got 2 or 3 of these, so I'll put its permanent paint job back on next time I go in and play. Unless I can find something, maybe make it. But New Yorker, I think, already has its own permanent paint job, so I'll put that back on. And like I said, I didn't cut anything else. I left this stuff in too, which is usually the loading screen when you're going into a battle. This is a little bit of different battle. It's kind of give you an idea of what a battleship can do and how to work the battleship. And this is a good one to talk about the gun traverse and being able to use your guns to the best of their ability, and knowing that battleship takes a lot longer to reload, so a lot of your time is spent counting down the minutes. Come on, give me a shell, give me a shell. But at the same time, they're big. They can absorb a lot of damage. I've seen them where they take 4 or 5 torpedoes and they keep floating. But considerable amount of damage. I mean, it can really mess a battleship up. But they're still afloat, where 4 torpedoes would be nothing and just obliterate a destroyer. But this is what I'm talking about with the guns. You know, I'm trying to get my guns turned around so they're facing in a direction where I do assume the enemy might be coming up. Because like I said, it takes a long time to get those guns turned around. So let's say there was something coming in on me on the right. Now it'd take a long time for me to get my guns turned around and put it on target. But the one thing that is a little easier to do is, instead of trying to get the guns to come back around, you can lock the guns in place and get the ship turned and bring the guns onto a target by turning the ship itself, and at the same time not keeping yourself a broadside target. So that's the trick, learning how to work a battleship. And a lot of times what I'm doing is like I'm going in, but at the same time I'm turning the battleship to come back out while keeping my guns turned on the enemy and incoming ships. And that's kind of what I'm trying to do here, so that I can be pointing out the open sea. I'm not going to get hung up on these little islands, while at the same time I'm training my guns on these ships coming in to try to capture these places. And that's where you get your defender ribbing. See if your battleships are trying to take on, like there's a couple ships that are coming in trying to capture. Like in the last one, when I took on that one destroyer with the help of my teammates, they did most of the damage. But at the same time, I held with that destroyer, and we took it down quick. And now our battleships and cruisers didn't have to worry about that little battleship, that little destroyer. And here, see, the enemies to my back there. While I'm turning the ship around, but I'm still able to keep my guns on target, so that when the reload time comes up, and it'll pop up white there in the reticle when your guns are loaded. And see, I'm trying to keep my ship moving without getting stuck on an island, while at the same time keeping my guns on target, and kind of But you can see some of my bigger guns are pointing off to the right there. They're not actually pointing to the back. It's just maybe using the back guns mostly. Um, and that's kind of the tricky thing there. Like if you can see all the guns down on the little ship at the bottom there, that's showing the direction your guns are pointing. And the trick is trying to get them all pointed at the same target, so your salvo is coming. But that's hard to do, especially with battleships, like I said, because the guns turn slower. But that's learning to operate the battleship, is learning to control the guns, learning to lock the guns so when you turn the ship, your guns aren't moving off target. Or you can unlock the guns, move the ship, keep the guns pointed in the direction you want to keep them pointed, so that when they're done reloading, it don't take that much to get back on and get a shell onto target. Like see here, I'm kind of heading in the direction of that battleship. There, I finally got a couple of shells. It's the back one's really because of the there. Now they're starting to light up. Now I got one there, and you can see these ones light up white. That's telling you those ones have a good clear shot, while the other ones aren't quite on target yet. And when they do come on target, they'll turn white, and that'll indicate that little reticle in the middle there, which is orange now, counting down the seconds to when you got one reloaded. And sometimes the seconds seem like hours. You're trying to get it shipped. Like, holy cow, come on, give me a shell, give me a shell. And that's the thing too, like with these here battleships, is when you're switching your shell selection, like I have armor piercing up now, which is coming down doing damage, where the HE would be setting fires. Right now I want to do AP because I'm going up against these battleships. I should be trying to start them on fire, but at the same time we have all the other ships firing at them too, so there's no sense in switching because it takes a long time to reload. So if you do want to switch, the best time to do is switch it right after you fire, so that reload time is switching over to the next AP round or HE round, whichever you're switching to. Here we go. Get up, yes, sir. And that's how you win a match, is you drive right into them. That's our rubber duck fleet. That's Warship Wednesday. And we're coming up to the point where we're going to do a script clip real quick, so let's pause this. Oh, cool. Transition just left a little bit of room. We can do some more editing. Oh, wow, they did it. They slid those two audio clips right down to the end there. Excellent. Oh, this has been Warship Wednesday. Some pretty good battles there. And I think we're going to go ahead and put this one in the can. Go ahead, do the script clip, please. Alright, cut, print, and post. Put it in the can and on the shelf. From ELA Studio and Sons Fillet and Old Grizz. Thank you for watching and thank you for following. And this has been Warship Wednesday here at ELA Studio and Sons. Alright, well done everybody. Good job. Now let's slide these two last audio clips down to the end. We'll shut off the lights. We'll call it a night. And from ELA Studio and Sons, we want to thank you again for watching and following.